Yo, what is popping? People, your boy Snacks is back in the damn building, man. Look here, man. We back, damn it. And we gonna drop because I've been gone for a few days, 4, 5, 6 days. My bad. I'm sorry. Once again, I apologize. Like I said, I had some deaths in the family, so your boy had to tend to family business. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna start this thing without giving a shout out to our number one supporters, some of our biggest supporters, the CU Aunties. And if you don't follow the CU Aunties on any of their social accounts, you crazy. You better get on that TikTok, get on that Facebook, get on that doggone Instagram, because they be putting in that work. Big ass shout out to the CU. All I'm saying is, Todd Moken likes shedeursanders. And everybody else don't want it to be shedeursanders. I just don't understand it. But let's go. Y'all tell me why they want anybody but Todd Moken and shedeursanders to link up during this football season. They don't even want Deshaun Watson. They don't want nothing. They just want to try everything else but what you got already. But as shedeursanders supporters, we also behind Deshaun Watson. So don't get it twisted, those of you in the media. If Deshaun Watson gets the start, we hope he balls the hell out and give y'all Cleveland fans and Cleveland media the biggest F you in the world. Hope he just shows out and he either forces Cleveland to give him a new contract or he gets signed to somewhere else and gets more money. Because y'all ain't been nothing but haters in Cleveland since the man been here. He been hurt. He ain't been playing. The man been hurt. Hell, he ain't been charged with no crimes. And y'all mad at him. Yeah, he paid off all those doggone people. Why not? It's the civil lawsuits. Get them out the way. Let them drag on for years. No. He did what he was supposed to do. And y'all still hating on him for no reason. But Todd Moken let y'all know what time it is. Every time he speaks, he lets y'all know what time it is with Shedeur. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't understand it. And I don't know why you don't understand. He keep trying to show it to you.
Porcelain like horse head. And it's from Shedeur. He sent me a gift on my birthday. And I asked him, I said, what was the meaning? He said, well, I just really liked it. He said, I got myself one. I said, well, great. In fact, for my birthday.
Yeah, coach, I got myself one. Todd Moken ain't posted on Twitter since 2022. But today, Todd Moken, shedeursanders, and that damn horse head. Do y'all not understand what the man keeps trying to tell y'all? You know who's the only quarterback that's been to see Todd Moken at least 3 to 4 times since Todd Moken has been hired? Shedeursanders. No Deshaun Watson, no Dylan Gabriel. You know who Coach Monkin leads his talking about when he talks about his quarterback room? Shedeursanders. How excited he is, how elite he is, how much he wants to get under the hood with shedeursanders and get that work in. But y'all don't seem to get the message. Y'all want Anthony Richardson and Malik Willis. 2 quarterbacks that are worse than Shedeur statistically. And y'all always crying about statistics. But statistically, you want to hire the people that are worse than Shedeur. How y'all do that? What we doing? Question is, Shedeur been on the internet popping off, letting y'all know that he needs some top-notch receivers. And he had some people say, hey, let these people know that I need these guys in my building. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, if they come out, they'll be cool. Well, tell them. You got to tell them right there.
These guys?
No, tell them right there. Marvin Harrison,
Olave, bring them.
Cool. Now they'll know for sure.
Yeah, take care, honey.
All right.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave. Hey, coach, Mr. GM, can you give me one or two of them, please? Oh, he putting it on wax, and that's from Stud Steele's YouTube channel, who when they went to his middle school and showed out and visited the kids and brought them pizza and all that. These are the things that Shedeur is doing behind the scenes. But y'all tripping. Y'all don't want Shedeur to be the guy, but he is going to be that guy because Shedeursanders is what Cleveland needs. Shedeursanders is what Cleveland has been yearning for. But now you act like y'all too good. You want a world-class quarterback, but you ain't got nobody to protect him. You'd rather get a new quarterback than build your offensive line up and build the rest of your wide receiver room up. Y'all just rather have a quarterback. Y'all stupid. You know what I'm saying?
They need to eliminate their entire franchise because they make terrible decisions. Let me explain here. Shedeursanders should be the guy. You have Dillon Gabriel, you have Deshaun Watson. I think Watson's better than Sanders, but Watson is not the long-term solution for the Browns, and he's a PR nightmare if he becomes the starting quarterback. You send Dillon Gabriel to a different team because you're done with him, and he's a third rounder, and he may have a little value left. And then next year, if Shedeursanders is that bad, you go draft a quarterback when the class is absolutely loaded. You don't take a chance on Ty Simpson this year, in my opinion. If Shedeursanders isn't the Browns...
That is correct. Why would you waste the pick? I don't think the Cleveland media understands what they have in their quarterback room. I really don't. I don't think the Cleveland media understands who they have in their quarterback room. Deshaun Watson, Shedeursanders, and when you got teammates,
you played with
when you got teammates talking that talk, walking that walk. Because Shelby Harris has been standing on business for Shedeur since day one. And y'all act like it's a fluke. Y'all act like these players don't know who they want, and they keep telling you over and over and over again who their quarterback is going to be.
You played with Shedeursanders. What were your thoughts?
I was highly impressed with the kid, because you got to think of it like this. And I'm not even going to call him a kid, the young man, because, you know, you got to think he's like 22, 23 years old. I believe that he definitely got the short end of the stick. You know, everyone made all these big deals about stuff that it was out of his control. He can't control who his dad is. You know, we just like Peyton and Eli couldn't control who his dad was.
Or Bronny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No one can control who their dad is and how influential they are and how, you know, and how much power they have. But the one thing I will say is that Shedeur works. He works his ass off.
He did.
And he takes the time to get to hang out with his teammates, which I think is extremely important, especially when you're...
That's Shelby Harris. That is a Cleveland Browns player telling you what they think about Shedeur, how he feels, and he been standing on business just like the rest of them. But y'all keep trying to find somebody else.
Young quarterback, because it's all about building those relationships with the players and building that time with them so that when it is crunch time, you know how hard I've been working to get here. You've seen it. You know, the proof is in the pudding. You've seen how hard I've been working. So when it's crunch time, hey, you believe in me because you've seen the work.
It seems like, though, you like Kevin Stefanski, but it seemed like there was a Kevin Stefanski, Shedeur Sanders disconnect at times, at least publicly.
I wouldn't even say that. Obviously, like, we went through 3 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
And you can't act like a single one of them is your favorite because you don't know if they're the permanent solution.
Right.
And I would come in the building every day and I would see either, you know, especially not really Joe, because Joe was an older established quarterback. But every other day he'd have either Dylan in his office going over offenses or Shedeur in his office.
How about
in his
Deshaun
office.
Watson? Was he there too?
Yeah, and Deshaun was very helpful for all of them because Deshaun, even though before he even came back to play, he wasn't doing it. Like, you know, he wasn't going to do anything. He helped every step of the way. He was a guy who, any question you needed from, like, you know, from the young guys, he was there. He traveled for one of Shedeur's first away start, and he hadn't traveled all year just to be there for him.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I hate the narrative that goes around about Shedeur, because Shedeur, all he does is go in and work. And if anything, you got to give Deion credit for that. He taught him how to work.
Yeah.
He taught him how to handle himself at work.
And he was one of the earliest men to get there because he was speeding so fast.
You heard it. That's your teammates talking. And it's not just one of them. It's a bunch of them. But y'all keep looking for something different. And that's not what they want. They want what they have. I don't know why you would want Anthony Richardson, because Anthony Richardson is a quitter. He quit on his team. Nobody wants to play with a guy like that. I don't know why you think Todd Moken needs one style of quarterback to coach simply because he coached Lamar Jackson. No. He can coach a plethora of style of quarterbacks. He doesn't have a system. He adopts his system to the quarterback. And it's so hard to understand why the Cleveland media is sounding so unintelligent right now when it comes to the quarterback room. Maybe because they are starving for that one quarterback to take them to the promised land. But at this point in time, it's anybody but Shedeur. Point in case, Sports Boy Tony, Anthony Lynn.
And I came away thinking, man, this was the second straight combine week that went bad, I think, for Shedeur Sanders. And I know that that's totally unfair because Shedeur did not take part in the combine this year. He's no longer a rookie. But what I mean by that
why did it go bad for him? He didn't do anything this weekend.
Yeah, what I mean by that is what's interesting about
second straight combine week. Combine ain't but a week. It's been a year since the last one. So I'm just trying to understand the math off the top.
the combine is you have perceptions going into the combine and then perceptions going out of the combine. And what changes, right? It's not just guys running around in their shorts, in their athleisure. It's not just guys doing all the interviews or the podcasting. It's that a bunch of the league's decision makers get together for 2 days, for 3 days, for 4 days, depending on when people no longer have the stomach to have the late nights in Indy. And they get hit with truth serum, and that is alcohol. And everybody talks in that league. That's just the way it goes every year in Indy. Remember, last year, leading up to the combine, it was, all right, Shedeur's going in the first round. Is he going to be the second quarterback taken? Where could he go? Is he going top 10? Is he going top 20? But he's a first rounder, right? Out of the combine, it's, I can't find anybody that has a first round grade on Shedeur Sanders. What changed? Well, a bunch of the decision makers got together and started talking. Well, heck.
No, they got together and started plotting. They got together and started plotting, trying to punish a guy who didn't do it the way they wanted to do it. And in the end, it's going to bite him in the ass. And we going to love every minute of it. And you better hope he's still in Cleveland when it happens.
Happened again this year, and for the second straight week for Shedeur, it seemed like you couldn't find anybody that was ready to pencil Shedeur in as QB1 with the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
And everybody seemed to continue to have the same.
You can't find nobody but Todd Moken and his teammates. They ready to do it. I think that's all that matters. All that outside crap, combine crap. Y'all talking about a quarterback that's going to go number one who had nowhere near the stats of Shedeur Sanders coming out of college. Period. Point blank. He's not graded higher than Shedeur Sanders, and you would rather give up 3 more first-round picks to get that guy. Why? Because he's not Shedeur Sanders. Y'all sound like a bunch of idiots.
Same train of thought. The Browns are going to be aggressive at their quarterback spot because they do not believe right now in what is there in that quarterback room.
Why should they?
See, this is what the people in Cleveland have to put up with listening to on the radio every day. And I would like to apologize to all of y'all on behalf of the idiots, because all they want to do is find anybody but Shedeur. Because why? Because it ain't Shedeur. That's it. What is Anthony Richardson? What is Kirk Cousins? Where is Malik Willis? Y'all really want to go to Kirk Cousins? Y'all think I'm playing Kirk Cousins? I'm they're so serious. Kirk Cousins, who has had 13,000 injuries, who is just coming off an Achilles injuries, the same as Deshaun Watson. But Deshaun Watson was a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. Deshaun Watson is more athletic than Kirk Cousins. Deshaun Watson is 6 years younger than Kirk Cousins. But you know what the Cleveland Browns media would rather do? Get rid of Deshaun Watson, get rid of Shedeur Sanders, and bring in old-ass Kirk Cousins and pay him $40 million a year. Y'all think I'm playing. You can't make this stuff up.
I'm intrigued by Kirk Cousins because I think he played incredibly well in 2025. He had upset wins down the stretch in prime time against the Buccaneers and the Rams. He looked like the same guy that he was before he tore the Achilles. And I think 2024 can be explained very simply. Kirk Cousins is not an arm strength guy. He's not a guy who can whip the ball down the field with the flick of the wrist. He uses his full body to generate power. So when your full body has been compromised by the fact that you blew out the Achilles tendon in one of your 2 legs, you're not going to be able to generate the same power. And when you try to do so, it's going to put stress on other parts of your body, and you're just going to have a very long and physically demanding year. Now that he's fully healthy, he looks like a different guy. And look, he's still young as quarterbacks go. He's still got some time left, and he will be available. The Falcons, when they redid his contract in January, it was obvious they were going to cut him on March 11 or March 12. So he's going to be an option for somebody. The question is going to be money and where he sees an opportunity. And maybe he looks at the Browns. Maybe he believes in Todd Moken. Maybe Todd Moken will impress him with his Vanilla Ice outfit. And, you got Myles Garrett on defense. And maybe the Browns really are just – look at what they did with Joe Flacco in 2023. Maybe they are a competent week in, week out starting quarterback with veteran experience away from being better than they've been.
I'm sorry. Why do you keep trying to put your fans and your audience through that? But it is what it is. I'm gonna let y'all figure it out. Y'all think I just be talking. I'm giving it to you. They just want somebody other than. But there's nothing better than what they have. Every option they put on the table is not better than what you already have in your quarterback room, except for Dylan Gabriel. And he ain't going nowhere because he a 3rd round pick. So what are we doing? Cleveland media is looking real suspect at this point. You're showing your hand. and your hand says, we'll take him, as long as it ain't Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. But anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Holla at you, boy. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your bell on. Hit that little star right down there at the bottom. It's getting ridiculous. I'm telling you, we're going to have to do a live stream. I've been gone too many days. We got to put the live stream up and get it cracking. So we're going to see what we can do. Anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all, man. I'm out of here. Peace out.